This year, don't miss the Newcastle Zim Golf Tournament at the New Begin Golf Club on the beautiful Northumberland coast.
The cost is only £50 per person. Please register today via our Facebook page or go straight to Eventbrite and search for Newcastle Zimbabwe Golf Tournament.
After the golf, join us for a lovely family dinner at our Black Tie Awards ceremony where we've got lots and lots of prizes to be won. You don't want to miss this.
For all other inquiries, please call 079 8625 1952 or 074 5506 1196 today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the tunnel. I'm your DJ. Yes.
You're listening to Zimbabwe's finest radio station, broadcasting worldwide. Zimnet Radio, the people's choice.
Azire vakuru ramba varaira zvikazonzi nemfano wechidika anonzi Dr. T ndamba kuzora bhata akadzipwa nerofu unokuzodzipirweiko tiri pano pa Zimnet Radio tina DJ Sodza vachizora bhata tichizora tichinakirwa ko tiri machindaka tinenge tichinakirwa zvimama zviri pasaidi zakade.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are listening to DJ Sodza live on Zimnet Radio. Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
It is a Thursday, and you know what that means. It's a men's corner show with yours truly, DJ Sodza.
Zimbabwe, yeah, faith in God. Another Zimbabwe, yeah, faith in Jesus. We're miracle, yeah, faith in God. Another Zimbabwe, yeah, faith in God. Another Zimbabwe, yeah, faith in God. Another Zimbabwe, yeah, faith in Jesus. We're miracle, yeah, faith in God. Faith in God. Usiwe kufuta, yeah, faith in God. Usiwe kufuta, yeah, faith in Jesus. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. Uliweka zako, yeah, faith in God. Ukabake kufotera, yeah, faith in God. Ukabake kufotera, yeah, faith in Jesus. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. Safotera mundi, yeah, faith in God. Safotera mafai, yeah, faith in God. Samari no upenyu, yeah, faith in Jesus. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. Salutano chamari, yeah, faith in God. Salutano chamari, yeah, faith in God. Salutano chamari, yeah, faith in Jesus. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. Tashika bakungwa chuku, yeah, faith in God. Tashika bakungwa chuku, yeah, faith in God. Tashika baredisi, yeah, faith in Jesus. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. We miracle, yeah, faith in God. Faith in Jesus, and miracle, faith in God. Musaruto iti hamatangu, dimo mune mukana wakuita pesu. Overtake, recover all that was stolen by the devil. Tichikarugare chaiho. Tichikabudiriro. Aiwa. Wemirako. Tichita Zimbabwe kwayo. Tichita Zimbabwe kwayo. Tiseremerugare. Wemirako. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe,
Right here in Zimbabwe, thank you so much for choosing Zimnet Radio, and you always give us the courage to be here every Thursday. And the way you gather at the same time, I hope everyone is getting very excited. The election, the day is upon us, and wow, it's 4 days, isn't it? Monday. We are talking Monday here. So hopefully, by this time next week, we will have a new president. Would you believe? Or maybe a current president reinstated. I wonder. This day, I'm trying to organize. He is en route kwenda ku Zimbabwe. Varikuti vanenge vari on the ground musi Monday. Vachiona kuti zvinhu zvinenge zviri kuitika. He will be casting his vote. I'm not sure about Chief Sose, whether he has already flown there or he is going to fly this weekend. I don't know. But you remember, he said that he registered to vote and he will be flying back to vote. What I don't know is whether Sekuru is flying back, because I remember vividly in 2013 he went back and casted his vote there. Unfortunately, he came back empty-handed. But I wonder if he has given up going there this time around or not. We shall hear from him. But maybe on Monday, I'm trying to work out when can we do this show on Monday. Probably about 8 p.m. UK time, but it's yet to be confirmed. So I'll be telling you in due course what Tinita say. Because it also phone up Zimbabwe, kuti teams go kuti zvinenge zviri kufamba sei. Pane vanenge varowana here, my results will be starting to trickle in kubva kuma polling stations anenge ariko. You remember what happened in 2013 as well. So we try to do that. Give you a couple of hours on Monday, probably between the hours of 8 and 10 p.m. UK time. It turns out I say I'm hoping to have Wapebe as well on the line. Variko ku Zimbabwe vachitudza kuti zvine zvafamba sei pakuvhota apa. Right. Chingamidzi vatinawo panhasi uno pachirongwa. Sekuru maswera seiko?
Mushe waswera sei muzukuru?
Taswera. Are you going to vote on Monday, Sekuru?
No, I'm not going to vote.
But you have always gone back to vote, Sekuru. What has happened this time?
Problem I'm not going to endorse undemocratic people to I have been voting against undemocratic people. Now there are two undemocratic contestants at the top there. And it's no use me casting my vote for any of them. And the other contestants are very good contestants, but I couldn't want a Gundam Saira. So Gundam Saira got made at all in the
Sekuru murumunu mukuru kaini zvinomukaramwa ko isusu wana toita sei?
No, andina kurama. Ndakupa chance generational consensus kuti muone kuti generational consensus haipo, haibatsiri kana musina maintenance a democracy. Because you can't participate in a democratic election in undemocratic organizers. What one Zeki is one FDC alliance, they are undemocratic. FDC alliance actually is so undemocratic, it doesn't even have a constitution of its own. It has never held a congress of its own, and yet they have got somebody contesting a presidential position. Then you look at ZANU Lacoste. ZANU Lacoste is equally as bad because a contestant Wao is the coup leader. So what is there to vote for?
All right. Aiwa, Seguru, thank you so much for that. You're not going this time. Sally, welcome to the show. Sally, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry, I've got a mouthful of food. I couldn't find the thing. I've got a new Skype, that stupid Microsoft version, so I'm in a big mess.
Alright, okay, but are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, good evening, Sikuru. Good evening, Titch. Good evening, Wilbert. Good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. I hope you are having a good evening.
Fantastic. No, Sally. No, Sally, I think what we'll do is we'll give you some time to finish off your food. Mukoma Wilbert, welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sekuru. Good evening, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the show.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Mukoma Tish Maskwera Seko London.
Ndaswera zvangu kumaswera omukoma Sodza nemhuri yedu yese yeZimbabwe yakateerera.
Aiwa, tinofara chose kuva nemupano pachirongwa. Regai tiende kuna Tete Rozi kuAmerica uko tichibvunza upenyu kwamuri.
Hi, how are you, DJ? How's everybody doing? We're good here.
Very good, very good. It's good to have you on the show. Right, guys, we would like to start off straight away. You know, this guy Ronzi Kudzai, you had him saying all these things that he's saying is rigging and all that. Mukoma Tish, should we take notice of that?
Yes, we should, but is that something new?
Because we've had this before, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the point I'm trying to say. Why I'm saying Sekuru shouldn't have boycotted. Because it's the same situation that we've always had. You know, I mean, I know he's disappointed and all that, but the truth of the matter is that what has changed, other than the contestants, it's just the first time that it's not Morgan versus Robert Mugabe. The rest of the stuff is the same. I mean, Zimbabweans have had their hopes raised by the fact that Mugabe alone has been removed, but the system that he presided over is still running the show. So you can't suddenly say because Jose Marino has been fired, you no longer support Chelsea. I'm saying Seguru should vote, but still in protest at the internal problems that they have, because the only way to solve them is internally. I would urge everyone to still go and vote, regardless of the fact that I have personal reservations about it all. But what is important is that Zimbabweans must appreciate this reality, that other than the fact that the contestants have changed, nothing has changed. ZBC still is biased, does not cover position, actually reports negatively on them. State media editors actually come out openly to be antagonistic towards the opposition. Now you get it from perspective that even when MDC won in 2008, Mugabe even threatened to throw away the ballpoint and go back to war. You think these guys who were behind him being able to take such a position are going to be any different when they were the ones that were the power behind the throne? I mean, Zimbabweans sometimes we raise our expectations too high, only to be disappointed. If you look at the moment now, every year Morgan Tsvangirai ran excellent campaign strategies, big crowds, big moral, nice dancing and singing. It's always the case. Chamisa is doing exactly the same. You know, so if you look at it from that perspective and you think that for some reason Chamisa is going to conjure a miracle against the system, it's self-deception. So all we are hoping is that MDC will ameliorate the situation of ZANU-PF, having a 2/3 majority that will give them the power to willy-nilly alter the constitution as they please, to self-entrench as they've always been doing, so that we can't ever remove them until we decide to actually fight. Because that is the problem that Zimbabwe faces. The day that ZANU-PF will have to leave power, we will have to just do exactly as we did with Smith. We'll have to physically fight ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF will have to be taken down by Kenya. ZANU-PF is not going to leave power through the ballot. Just as Smith was not going to leave the power by giving the blacks one man, one vote. Thousands and thousands had to die in a war that didn't need to happen. But that's how demagogues operate. Mnangagwa is already a demagogue, just like Mugabe was. And Chamisa is already a demagogue, just as Changirai was. Zimbabwe has not changed, brothers. It's just simply two players, the front runners, the leaders have changed. But the organizations they lead are still the same. Look at MDC, it's still the same people. Look at ZANU-PF, it's still the same people. Look at the state machinery, it's still the same system. I just want to dispel that wrong. I know I can cause despondence and a loss of morale for others, and they lose heart, but rightly so. The change that you anticipate or envisage has not come yet. It's far away.
Okay. Mkomatichi, it sounds very negative the way you said that nothing is going to change there. For some people who are desperately thinking that there is going to be change in Zimbabwe, nothing is going to happen. This is, another ZANU-PF victory come Monday.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
All elections in Sodza are like Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, it's get excited, get new uniforms, that's regalia. And there's new songs, the top 20 of the year, we all sing and dance and make merry. When Christmas is over, we all go back to our poverty and struggling for school fees.
Fantastic, because also I'm hearing tonight that ZBC is reporting that it's 73% to ED, according to their poll.
That's another thing before we move on.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ballot paper?
No, the ballot paper had not been seen.
We've seen the specimen of the ballot. By this time in all these elections, the specimen of the ballot would have been floating all over newspapers, showing where the public is going to put their eggs, showing actually the setup, design of the ballot paper, and the symbols of the parties and the images of the party people, and how they line up on the ballot paper. So people, by the time they're going into the booth, they already have an image of what the ballot paper looks like. This time around, I'm not told that yes, it's in 3 colors, but it's only just going to be available on voting day. I mean, today is Thursday, so they're going to show it to us over the weekend. When is the public going to see specimens of the ballot paper? When is public advocacy and education for the voters, showing them what to do on voters' day and the type of ballot what they will be given? You know, right now we should be seeing even mosquitoes. We haven't seen that. ZANU-PF is clever enough to just clear that. And they've done that because they have got the BVR voters roll proper. And that's why they've been able to send text messages. This is like sheep going into the slaughter.
Right, okay. Thank you so much, Mkomatich. Sekuru.
Yebo.
It is wrong for you to boycott, but I don't know. What do you make of all these things? I mean, should we be listening to them, people?
Kuzindwa shogari vikwi. Asi minduro yangu ndeye kuti ine handina kuboycota election. Hayi baba. and now we got election, but I don't see the purpose of me paying 650 pounds kuinda kunovhotera an outcome yakatonyorwa kunzi yakanyorwa kare. I don't see, I'm not that stupid, so ndinoona vanhu vachiita zvinhu zviri against everything else that the people have been fighting for. Vachodzorwa tichivaudza kuti no, musadaro, because you are actually destroying the hopes of the people by doing it the wrong way, and they continue doing it. You are my project, a junda. And then when it comes to the point, I teach you, there is nothing to be taught. The issue is that the MDC Alliance is a project, yes, Junda, which was created with the sole purpose of removing the MDCT party as a contestant in any election, and therefore destroying that brand once and for all. It is very unfortunate kuti pane vanhu vakaita musoro yakaoma vana gutuna nana tuko vakaramba vachiti history MDCT to the point where that name still appears on the ballot paper. The project was that MDCT would not appear on the ballot paper this time around.
And what was the purpose of that, Sekuru? Because from my understanding it was that Tsvangirai was going to that alliance so that he can join hands with other parties as well in order to defeat ZANU-PF.
Tsvangirai was going to contest under the MDCT, not under the MDC alliance.
Well, Sekuru, but that's not the information we get from Wapebi. Wapebi was telling me that Tsvangirai was on course to contest as the leader of the MDC alliance this election.
But as MDCT, as the leader of the MDC alliance, as the MDCT alliance.
All right, okay. Is MDCT alliance, not MDC alliance?
Yes.
Yes.
Tsvangirai would have been the leader of MDCT, but also leader of the alliance. Now we have Togo as leader of MDCT, Chamisa only as leader of MDC alliance. We're talking legalistically and officially.
Oh.
So Tsvangirai would have been the leader of both MDCT and the MDC alliance.
Okay, alright. Okay, alright, Sekuru, go ahead. I understood.
So at the end of the day, the project is partially succeeded and failed. In either way, it has partially succeeded. There's an MDC alliance, which is a party without a name, but with a contestant, a presidential contestant. And then there's the MDCT with a weak presidential contestant, but which with the capacity to derail the election of the MDC alliance candidate. Whether she does it legally or illegally, it's neither here nor there. She becomes a good excuse. That's why they lost. So at the end of the day, we are in a situation where we are in a lose-lose situation, and I can't lose my money as well.
So Sekuru, come Monday, the way you guys are sounding here, the results might be announced on Monday evening or Tuesday morning, and Mnangagwa is won, and that's the end of the story, and that's it.
And there is nothing that is going to happen. Look at all the hot air that was being prevailed by the MDC alliance. There will be no election. There will be this and this. There will be nothing like this. And then only yesterday they sit and they say there will be an election. That is 5 days before the election. Yes, if we didn't know that there was going to be an election, the election was always going to be there. But to try and grandstand and say we have declared that now we are going to participate in the election is nonsensical. They should have said that a long time ago at Congress in February, when they would have sat down and elected a new leader. They would have named then said, look, we have elected a new leader who is going to contest the election, come hell, come thunder, come whatever. And nobody would be in doubt that this leader is going to contest. At the present moment, it's trying to grandstand with the matches which mean nothing, absolutely nothing, because all the people we have been told to contribute to buy blankets and whatever. Where is the money now?
Right. Okay. So Sekuru, for my listeners out there listening, Varukufunga kuti Chamisa is going to win here. What message have you got for them?
Be prepared for the worst nightmare, because MDC Alliance will emerge with the lowest number of seats since the name MDC appeared on the ballot paper.
Right. And that's reflecting the mood of the voters in Zimbabwe.
That reflects the mood of the voters in Zimbabwe. It is absolutely nothing to do with what has happened in the coups and what has happened. It has become an issue of whether there is an opposition strong enough to topple ZANU-PF through the ballot box or not.
Right. Sekuru, right. So what you are telling me is that go to Zimbabwe today. This election, you think it's going to be free and fair, and Mnangagwa is going to win square because he's got support in Zimbabwe.
No, the issue of freeness or fairness is neither here nor there. The question is the opposition done enough to be contenders?
And they haven't
done. It has not done that.
By the virtue of not electing a legitimate leader for the MDC alliance, Guru. Let's get that clear.
No, by virtue of whatever they did since the death of Chagrai up to now, up to 2 days ago, when they announced a day ago, when they said we are now participating. How can you say we are now participating in an election 5 days when you have been telling all your people that there will be no election?
Hanzi chirimuru saka chino zvinzwira Zimbabwe yeah, as puzzled as I am, but this is how we learn on this show. Mkoma Wilbert, murikuzvinzwa zviri kutaurwa namukoma Tichi naSekuru izvo. Are you one of those disheartened Zimbabweans hearing this? Kana kuti you are still with your thought that without reforms, no elections, and if you do the election, you lose anyway? Because we know that's your stand.
Well, I think events on the ground have already proven that there is no way you're going to have free, fair, and credible elections without the reforms. One of the things that we have already seen is ZEC failing to produce even something as basic as a verified voters' roll. So these people are getting excited about the elections and so forth. Do you know who is going to vote? You don't know. Even now, 4 days before the elections, you still don't have a verified voters' roll. So how do you know who is going to vote? And I feel sorry for some of the people who have come from South Africa, UK, America, and so forth, who go to Zimbabwe. And like many Zimbabweans, will find they actually will not be able to vote. Because although they're registered, when you go to the polling station, they will tell you, your name is not on this polling station. There's nothing else you can do. There will be maybe 20 polling stations in that constituency, and it could be in any one of those 20 polling stations. So this is what we are facing. There is no way in the world you can tell me you can have a meaningful, free, fair, and credible election when you don't even know who is going to vote. And when they have voted, you don't know how many people may have been able to vote more than once. We saw last time people casting multiple votes because there is no voters' roll. That is something that anyone in MDC cannot deny. And yet, you go into these elections with exactly the same conditions. I think the most important thing we can do here is not raise our people's expectation that this is it. This is the free, fair, and credible elections. And then come Monday by noon, they realize, ZANU-PF is rigging the elections again. Because that will only undermine whatever you or me or anybody else out there would have said. If you are going to say these elections are free, fair, and credible, then you must be able to defend it on Monday. If you are saying that we should go into these elections, although we know they are not free, fair, and credible, because we are going to have to win them, overwhelm them, then say it, but you should be able to defend it on Monday when the reality hits home. What we don't want is people to keep telling people one thing when they know that is far from the truth. There is no point in going into these elections under these conditions. I think the best outcome of a Monday's election is for the whole thing to be declared null and void. That way then we will have a new administration appointed, as happened in 2008, which will then be tasked to implement the reforms that we agreed with SADC in 2008. And once those reforms have been agreed, been implemented, then that administration will hold free and fair elections, where ZEC will be totally independent, the police will be totally independent, the army will be totally independent, the voters' roll will be produced at least a month before the elections. Everybody will be able to see it. The whole process will be transparent so that everybody can see what is happening. Right now, one of the problems we have is we will have some of the people who come on this program and tell us that yes, MDC is going to win. Come Monday noon, they are the ones who will be telling us as ZANU-PF has rigged the elections. So you have been saying we are going to win, and yet come Monday you admit with the ZANU-PF has been rigging the elections. Where are you? You know, this is what we don't want. When the whole process is transparent, everybody could see what is happening. If you start saying, oh, A rigged the elections, the question will be, how did he rig them? Right now, for you to say, oh, ZANU-PF rigged the elections because we don't know who people, they were passing in people. How can you prove it if you don't have a voters' roll? If you have a voters' roll there, you can say, these are the people. We can take an audit of people who voted in, say, a representative sample of the polling station in that particular constituency, where you can trace, yes, so-and-so is in the voters' roll, and they voted, and this is the number of people who voted, and this is the number of people who were counted to have voted on that day. That is a transparent process that no one can dispute. If you have got all this, even ZANU-PF, I'm actually surprised that Mnangagwa, yes, I appreciate he needed to rig the elections to stay in power, because let's face it, this election is not just about electing a president. It's also a de facto referendum on the coup of November. Because if ZANU-PF was to lose these elections, it will be literally saying what happened in November is not what Mnangagwa and Chiwenga have been telling us, that it's a military-assisted transition. It was a coup, period. And a coup is treason. And those guys will know it will be just a matter of time before somebody says, come with me. And they've got to account for what happened last November. That is the reality. That is why Mnangagwa and company cannot lose these elections. And it is naive to keep on talking about, oh, we're going to change, we're going to overwhelm. You are not going to overwhelm anybody with any numbers, because even those people you think have registered, I can tell you, and I want this put down, DJ, on Monday we'll talk about it. I can tell you, if you were to count the number of people on Monday who will go to a polling station and find their name is not on the voters' roll, you'll be surprised. Last time it was nearly 1 million. This time I think it will be even more. These elections are a farce, and let's be honest about it, and let's not waste time pretending there's anything else but a farce.
So we have to brace for same again come Monday. Thank you so much, Mkoma Wulpet. Zimbabwe, if you're just joining us, we're just kind of polishing up about the election which is supposedly coming up on Monday. Everyone on the panel here so far is saying that really this is like trying to slaughter a chicken that is already dead. Apana zviripo makumbo enyoka. Vana Mnangagwa, they cannot take power. They can not take power from Mugabe in November, only to hand it over to someone else. That ain't gonna happen in a million years. Sally?
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yes, your 2 cents on this. You've been listening to what Mkoma Tiche and Sekuru and Mkoma Wulbeta had to say. Are you agreeing with them that basically it's wasting of time here? It's
at long last, Titch. At long last, Titch has come up with. He might be negative, but people need to hear it. I am so glad. I am so tired of being accused. Oh, you're negative. Yeah. Okay. I thank him for that. For Sekuru, my heart breaks. Because for him to decide not to go home and vote must have been one of the most painful decisions. My heart breaks for him. And it is the saddest day for Zimbabwe as far as I'm concerned. Okay? I have never ever in my life met a man, except for Titch with ZANU-PF, okay? But a man as dedicated as Sekuru was, okay? And he still is. Okay? I mean, it breaks my heart to hear him speak like that. And I don't know how anybody can't be touched and wake up with the words that he has said, and that he's not going home. I mean, that is almost like saying Mugabe never existed, it was all in our imagination type of thing. I mean, this man, his blood has always been MDCT. Okay, that's his blood, his breath, his everything. And he's not going to go home and vote. Yay. Look, this election, I had a tiny little bit of hope after the inter-party coup, okay, that people might have woken up and they will now have the opportunity and the strength and the power to get basically something organized, okay? The reforms, the whatevers, everything. Well, you know what? Whatever happens on Monday, and as far as I'm concerned, Chamisa is just an offshoot of ZANU-PF. I don't care what you say. You can threaten me, which they have done with everything under the sun. I do not care, okay? Chamisa is an offshoot of ZANU-PF. Finished. End of story. And what he did to Changorai, I will never ever forget, and I'm sorry I don't forgive for something like that. That to me is the lowest that you can go. Okay? And even if he wins, he's not interested in you people. Can't you understand that? He wants the power. That's it. Chete. You're going to have a bullet train that goes at, 400 kilometers an hour between Harare and Bulawayo. You can't even get your money out of a bank. So how are you going to get onto the bullet train? I mean, it's so nonsensical. He stands there, big stuff. I'm the pastor, and there's going to be no elections until there are reforms. And you people want me to live in your false reality. No, sorry, I can't. I live in South Africa, where I'm lucky to wake up in the morning alive. And I'm lucky to go to bed at night alive. Okay? That's my reality. And you want me now to put myself into a false reality and believe that Chamisa is the answer to everything. No, he's not. You settling for half a loaf of bread, and stale bread at that, not even Coke, dirty water out of a tap to go with your half a loaf of stale bread. Well, that's your business. Then you deserve what you get. You get Chamisa, you're going to cry. You get Mnangagwa, you're going to cry and die. But that is what you wanted. Because why? Because you will not stand up against these people. And you will keep on calling them chef, okay? And you will keep on allowing them to trample on you and treat you like dirt. Well, then that's what you get. And if that's what you want, no work. My two nephews, okay? The one is 21 going on 22. The other one's 30-something. He's never held a formal job in his life. Neither of them. That's what you want. Well, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the same of what you have allowed yourselves to be treated like. You're going to get the same. You worship Chamisa. He's a human being. He poops and pees exactly the same as everybody else. If you cut him, he bleeds the same as everybody else. He is just a human being. He is supposed to be your servant. You are supposed to tell him what he has to do for you, not him tell you what he's going to do. And then he doesn't do it. And you want me to believe what he says. And you call me all sorts of names, and color is brought in and everything else, because I'm not going to be BS'd by some two-bit ZANU-PF lackey. And then you want to tell me, I must believe it. Please. So 38 years of what he did and the power that he was behind Gabi, everything that people dying, disappearing, melting into the ether and never to be found again. Who do you think was behind all that? And now you want me to give him a chance. A chance of what?
Right, okay.
Sorry. You people in Zimbabwe, you are the ones that are going to, that have the power, okay, to make the Zimbabwe that you want. And if you want the Zimbabwe, the shithole that it is right now, then that's what you're going to get, because you've done nothing to stop it. Nothing. People have died for nothing. For nothing. You can go and spit on their graves, because that's all it's worth. All those freedom fighters that gave their lives. They gave their lives for nothing.
Right.
Yes,
okay.
I'm fuming.
Yeah. Sally, it's clear that you are not happy with what's happening on the ground. Sally, we'll come back to you shortly. Guys, if you are just joining us, and a lot of people are joining in. If you're just joining us there, we're just talking about the elections that are coming in on Monday, and that we are hearing that ZBC is reporting that 73% of the people of Zimbabwe are going to vote for ED, according to their poll that they did, or whatever. So it's a sham. Of course ZANU-PF are going to win. Of course ED is going to win. Otherwise there will be no election if they knew they were not going to win this election at the end of the day. So this is basically wasting time. But I don't know, America, do you agree with what everyone else is saying here, that even to go and cast your vote on Monday, it's wasting your time and your space?
No, I think people need to go and still vote in their overwhelming numbers. And what I've been telling people is, the thing is, you can't. There's a way to fight with Zimbabwe when they decide that they want something, and telling them not to want something is not the way. You're just wasting your time. Zimbabweans will never listen to common sense. And this is where I always feel like maybe I differ from Sekuru Nanani, because you realize that continually fighting Chamisa is just giving him an excuse when he loses an election to say, look at the people who helped. And this ZANU-PF helped. These people were helped by ZANU-PF, and they helped to defeat me. Instead of the common sense thing for someone like Kupe at this point, because you can see the Zimbabweans overwhelmingly are supporting Chamisa, would have been to just say, you know what, I'm removing myself from the ballot as the MDCT presidential candidate. We're going to run to my presidency, but we're not going to run for the presidency because we're going to because we believe that it's really a two-man contest. Is what really I would have done and waited to not give someone an excuse. The moment, and then I believe that the moment that I actually hoped that there was going to be anarchy, because I really seriously believe that the only thing that's going to work in Zimbabwe is pure anarchy, where people seriously just say Tichada. And I'm hoping that if people are pushed enough, that's what's actually going to happen. Unfortunately, this is really what I'm hoping for. When I election because I've been talking to a lot of people out of Zimbabwe, like I have family members, I have relatives, I have friends, and I've been sending messages, make sure you do this, make sure you have this ready, make sure you go to the polling station, make sure you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner with you when you go, make sure you wait and count each other, make sure you're in the streets waiting. My hope is that turns into anarchy. And people realize that I made a decision after a while that I wasn't going to spend my time fighting Chamisa. This is what Zimbabweans want. I mean, if you see some of these videos, saying, you know, they really, and if you talk to young people in Zimbabwe, they are hoping, beyond hope, that Chamisa is going to win. And like I've been telling, like some of my cousins were saying, oh, we're so excited about elections. Like, no, it's not going to be like that. You need to be ready to go in the streets and fight for what's yours. Because it's not going to be simple. ZANU-PF will never go to an election, especially one that doesn't even have a proper voters roll. They will never go to an election that they're going to lose, especially if there's no proper voters roll. So you have to be prepared to defend your vote. Kana maso polling station ikoko moto mira kusama account kwambese makamirira, and if you don't like the result, you guys better be prepared to even die, because what's going to happen is you have this one chance to fight for Zimbabwe and what you need from Zimbabwe, and you're not going to get it if ZANU-PF wins. ZANU-PF is not winning an election because it's free and fair, it's credible, or that opposition has not done enough. This is where I disagree. ZANU-PF is going to win the election because ZANU-PF is going to rig the election, and ZANU-PF is going to win the election because there are some in opposition who, yes, mislead people and don't lead people the right way. Because I'm not into the opposition leader right now, and unfortunately I'm not an opposition leader. I wouldn't even waste my time to end up with elections. It's going to be anarchy until these people go. Because and that's the only language they understand. It's going to take fighting tooth and nail, you know, and these people are not prepared to leave. ZBC report 73%. Once the Parisa yes, no, today's Mnangagwa had some vendors meeting, and less than 200 people show up. When I was thinking, and I saw them, I'm going to see my reporters making. You know, and you see with the you know, they don't have the support, but after such nonsense, 73%, 73% just already one up happy. You know, so they don't really care how they win the election. And so Zimbabweans at this point should also decide with it. So when that we show up, and then we're going to refuse to accept the result. Because we're going to wait and we're going to say no, quit. You know, and we're getting in the streets, and Zimbabweans just refuse. But you know what? That's me having wishful thinking. Yes, no, I've resorted that years and down to some Zimbabweans and letting what no for miracles. because common sense really doesn't even work in Zimbabwe. It just doesn't work because you're not really even dealing with common sense. You can't have common sense in Zimbabwe.
Okay,
when we were trying to let them see reason, they just didn't see it.
Okay, Teteros. So, Imimi, what you are saying is, Kuti, of course, the election is already stolen now, right? It's gone, right?
Yeah, because even at the moment when they said there was not going to be marching, I mean, we've been fighting for electoral reforms. I think we fought for electoral reforms from NERA 2 years ago. And every time we were trying to fight and get people to go to parliament and do different things, people were literally sabotaging Chamisa. So I know the anger. Yevanu, my hardcore, like Kanashe Kuru. You know, my hardcore, they've been MDC supporters. They know the deal. They know that something is not right in the water. But I just don't agree with how to go about fighting these people. Because what the thing is, you can't fight them by being an enemy of the people. Because you have to have something to salvage afterwards. If you're going to have a political party. Because a political party with no people is not a political party.
Okay.
But I've always believed, Kuti, saving MDC was also saving it from within. You know, you're not going to save it by fighting Chamisa. Because now, Zimbabwe, decide, that's how I was talking to one of my friends today. Intelligent, smart young woman. And she's saying, now on a press conference, Chamisa would take a press conference. Those are naked. One of them, election right now, even Jacob Garifuma is what 2 candidates. The Chamisa actually endorsed the G40 person. And Jacob has been loyal through and through. But Chamisa endorsed the G40 person. And then you look at MDC Alliance, and you're trying to understand what the heck is really going on. So you really don't know. Zimbabwean politics is confusing. You really don't know what's going on. But the people want Chamisa. This is where we are right now.
Yes.
So by some miracle, Chamisa wants it as well. And and I don't know. I mean, it's not even common sense anymore.
I'll tell you what.
It's a situation where it's a series of bad. It's a,
Yes. Hold on a second. I tell you what. I hear what you are saying, Teteros, and you know, in Iniga, I mean, what people text me Kunokuma Studios. Sometimes I choose to read some of the messages, but I learned very quickly that sometimes there's no point reading it. But if I tell you the support that Chamisa has got, people will tell me that these are social media people, these are people that don't know what's happening, but the support is overwhelming.
DJ, you're not wrong.
It's crazy the support the man has got.
Yes.
On the ground. He has support on the ground. And the thing is, the reality of it is, it's not just Chamisa DJ Sodza. Chamisa was in, the thing is, what happened in MDC was, there were people plotting on Chamisa for 2 years prior. 2 years they were plotting to take over the party.
Right.
And they were ready. And they were already demonizing other people. So the people were outplayed. They were outsmarted. The reality is that is what happened. And we have to accept the reality. We were outsmarted. You know, things could have happened differently. But this is where we are. But Chamisa support on the ground. Chamisa arukutinira pasiti Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans have put all their hope on this person. I personally don't believe he's a good person, but they have put overwhelming hope on this person, and they believe and they're hanging to his every word. People actually believe.
Yes.
Migrator from here to there. People believe that. And that's not really how it is. You're wasting your time. That's not how you fight the people. People should have just done your resurgence if there's a resurgence. Right now, I'm a citizen, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm citizens. common sense yangu kundudzwa kuti you know what apana pomwe chinofara, but my hope is the election will expose the MDC alliance had support and the election was rigged, so this is not credible. So I'm going out of my way to make sure people make sure that they show their support. I told everybody, Saturday, stadium, kana uri muharare enda hama dzangu dzese ndatumira message kana uda kutaura neni kana ndiri kusapota kuti uri kutoenda kustadium. Because you have to show all of it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Hold on. You know what? Look, I don't really want to bring some personal issues on this, but what happened today, right? I called my mom-in-law. She's in Chichungiza there, and she said, "Kuti Chamisa angarikunzi arikuya I think kuma 2-3, but the stadium was full to capacity by 10 a.m. this morning, and they were blocking people kuti amuchapinda because it's full up." I mean, this is the amount of support that is on the ground.
DJ Sodza. That is not even a lie, DJ Sodza. Hanzi vakadzi vanga vachifenta. Ndandiri kuudzwa nevanhu maripota kutaura kuti hanzi zvakaoma zviri kuZimbabwe. Next Monday, people are even worried. Hanzi pane mapriest angati people are worried kuti results paanobuda kana Chamisa people are going to start killing themselves. You know? People are like literally worried about other people because people believe kuti Chamisa ari kuwina. Mukataura nemai young cousins vari kuma 20-30 vese vari kuti Chamisa ari kuwina, tiri kuwina, we're excited. And I've been trying to manage their expectations kuti vafanaka. Muri kutopinda murod. The way these guys vakaenda kuhondo, muri kutopindawo murod. You're going to have to fight these madalas to get them out. I stopped wasting my time.
No.
Once Chamisa, we will support Chamisa.
You see, even in Tete Roziga, I do this show, and Sally is doing a great job in terms of she puts these shows on YouTube. Sekuru and Mkoma Teach had a lot of supporters. Who are not tumira messages, even up to now, they are so respected. But I tell you what, they actually now, they don't like them because of the truth that they are saying. Because what they are saying is that you are.
That's what I'm saying is you cannot fight. You cannot fight what the people want. This is not the way to fight it. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're giving ammunition for someone to be able to justify their failure on you. If I was Coupe, I would have just taken myself out of the playing field. So that when it happens, when this failure actually happens, you know, and that way you would have self-respect and something to salvage. Because Zimbabweans, common sense, we're a long way away from common sense. A long way. Could you explain your constitution?
Needs to be clarified.
All right. Musat Madam, come a little bit. Sally wanted to say something first.
Yes. You know, Wilbert, you can open a bottle of champagne because of what I'm going to say now, okay? But I'll never ever say it again, so enjoy it the moment. This is the only time that the Zimbabwean people could have boycotted this election and got the most fantastic result because of the mass hysteria to do with Chamisa. Chamisa could have turned around and he could have said, right, we are not going to the polls. Nobody is going to vote. And you know what? The people wouldn't have gone.
Wouldn't have gone into my polls.
Why I am saying this.
I agree with you.
I am saying
500%.
I'll tell you why. This is the time. The whole world is focused on Zimbabwe. The international community is going to be in Zimbabwe.
And I agree with you, Sally. And I sent messages. I sent messages to MGC leadership.
Held his feet to the fire and said, right, until everything is in place that should be in place, there is no elections. Chamisa has the power to do that, but he is interested in getting power, and that is it. Okay.
Let me tell you something, DJ. I actually sent when I saw the press conference, and I was hoping I saw your message on Messenger where you said, MDC might be pulling out of the election. And yes, this is the way to go. They have to declare. And on Monday, what I would have done if I was Chamisa, because I got to message to MDC leadership, I would have taken all the people and said, we are meeting on July 30th. Mobilize on the streets to totally South Indiana. We're going to protest because we're going to boycott until there's reforms in this country. And when I heard the press conference, I actually had a conversation with some of the leadership before they announced, are you guys serious about going to elections? Because Akuna voters wrong, guys. We're going to election blindly. And then when they announced it, they were going, message some of them, you guys have decided it's okay to lose the election.
Right, okay.
You know?
Mkoma Wilbert, you wanted to say something there before we go to, talking about commercial break. Mongoti Gata, attend the commercial break and we'll be back after that.
Yeah, just 2 points. First of all, this issue of my presidential candidates. What we have got to remember here is that whoever is going to win has got to win 50% plus one of the cast votes of all the candidates. So in this particular case, even if there is the opposition were to divide among themselves 60%, as long as they've taken 60%, it means Mnangagwa will have 40% and there will be a runoff. And during the runoff, it's only the two leading candidates who will contest going to the runoff. So in terms of dividing the vote, it doesn't apply to presidential candidates in the first round. That point must be made very clear. So it doesn't matter how many you get. You cannot blame the number of people or candidates as saying, we lost because there was that is not it.
To be honest with you, Zimbabwe...
On the issue of the Chamisa withdrawing, to be quite honest, withdrawing this week or last week would have not made any sense because he had the opportunity to withdraw, to say, no, I'm not contesting. When there is time to implement the reforms, to ask SADC to be involved at this late in the game or anybody else is totally unrealistic. SADC is now there to observe what is happening, and then they will make a decision on the basis of what happens on Monday, or what has been happening all along. Changing reforms now is completely out of the question. It's totally unrealistic.
All right. We'll be back after this short musical break. We'll be back.
Anale Zimbabwe, faith in God. Anale Zimbabwe, faith in Jesus. Miracle, faith in God. Anale Zimbabwe, faith in God. Anale Zimbabwe, faith in God. Anale Zimbabwe, faith in Jesus. Miracle, faith in God. Faith in God. Usiwe kufuta, faith in God. Usiwe kufuta, faith in Jesus. Miracle, faith in God. Uliweka zako, faith in God. Ukambake kufotera, faith in God. Ukambake kufotera, faith in Jesus. Miracle, faith in God. Safotera mundi, faith in God. Safotera mafai, faith in God. Shamari ndo upenyu, faith in Jesus. Miracle, faith in God. Sarutano chamari, faith in God. Sarutano chamari, Zimbabwe kwayo, Zeleme Ugare.